Tangible. That's something very spiritual, very real advice. Very real, very tangible, very necessary. But to answer your question, I also ask myself that kind of question. But I tell you what, when we raised this flag at City Hall, who I am showed up. Who I belong to showed up, right? And that's the power of this flag, this symbol of unification, where it drew out all of the people and all of the answers to all of the questions I had. Now, believe me, the leaders in Africa know how separated we are. They know how difficult of an experience it is for us to try to connect to Africa. And they also understand that we have tools that can help Africa. And so in their wisdom, they realize that we are displaced, but a permanent part of Africa. And so I want to raise your attention to a few things that I discovered after raising this flag that I found out that's taking place in the world around us. So you ask, who do I connect to? Was that your question? We're unifying with who? Right? Okay. Well, the African Union. I don't know if anyone's ever heard of the African Union, but right now it looks like they're focusing on harnessing the demographic divide through investment for youth. They are focused on building a peaceful and prosperous and integrated Africa. Okay? And they've divided, the African Union is divided in a good way in different parts: north, south, east, west, central, in the 6th region. These are the way that Africa is divided by the African Union: north, south, east, west, central. In the 6th region is us. And so the goal of the African Union is to give us a voice on how Africa is shaped and molded for the future. Now, there are local divisions of the 6th region of the African Union here in Toronto, whose goal is to reach out to people like yourself who have a question on how can I give back? How can my voice be heard? How can I share what I have acquired through college and life experiences and help shape the Africa that I believe needs to become? And they are pulling resources all over the map from Africans that have been displaced through trade, slave trade, and many other means, so that we can play a vital role in shaping Africa. So there is a body that we can connect to, all right? There are institutions that are set up so that we can actually have a voice. This may be the last time I hold the microphone tonight, so I want to just raise your attention to what's going on right now. Starting in 2014, where am I? I lost my tab here. But in 2014, the UN established this decade as the Decade of African Descent, the International Decade of People of African Descent. Does anyone know that? Anyone know that?
Yes.
Yes, 1 or 2 people? All right. So the UN, the world governing body, has declared the time that we are standing in right now as a time for us to focus on what post-slave syndrome looks like, what being separated from our culture and our language, our motherland, our families, what that looks like and feels like, and truthfully focusing on repairing the body, the African body. We are the body. So I want you to know that this is the time for intellectuals like yourself to raise awareness on the struggles that blacks has suffered. Because until 2024, we are at the forefront. What we've gone through, the pain that we feel, and the separation that we experience from our motherland, these are all things that are being taken into consideration, and we need to have the conversation and be the leaders to bring this curriculum, to bring this moment to reality, into the reality of all those living around us. So I implore you to look more into the UN's International Decade of People of African Descent. If you're looking about learning more about the African Union, learning more about being connected to actual an environment where you can learn more about what it means to be Pan-Africanism, and I'm going to express something to you, all right? We're talking, the people that I work with in regards to the governing body with this flag, the UNIA, all right? They are instrumental in doing the things that need to be done, feeding our people, right? Providing food, right? Providing transportation, taking care of our elders. I mean, just assuming the responsibility of the most vulnerable of our community. And that's where we need to begin, right? If we want to unify, we can unify right here on this campus, right here in this city, and start having an impact to taking care of our own. And once you begin doing that, once you truthfully put yourself in a place where there's sacrifice involved and you're giving back and you're learning what it means to truthfully represent these colors and represent this, then you'll become not just a student, but you could become a teacher of it, and you can impact those around you. So I have all my information available to anyone who's looking to be part of these environments. I know Brother Malako, you meet in Scarborough, yes, right? So there are organizations right now that are thriving right now in our community that can help lead you into establishing a stronger mind wrapped around Pan-Africanism and actual advocacy on behalf of it. All right?